guys, Josh Bev here with White Oak Outdoors. Today, it's somewhat cloudy. It's a really nice day. So today I thought we'd make some wedges. Now, wedges are a very underrated piece of gear to make out in the woods. And the reason for that is most people carry either a big size felling axe on like an ATV or something out into the woods. Stop tickling me. They'll carry like a big axe out into the woods and, you know, just split firewood. But if you're traveling, you want to travel lighter. I'm not saying like ultralight backpacking, but I'm saying like you just want to travel out lighter. You're a smaller guy like I am. Carrying a big sized axe or even a medium axe is kind of difficult. It adds a lot of weight to your kit. And so wedges are something that helps aid in getting, like, splitting bigger pieces of firewood and also creating dimensional lumber, as well as other things like if you're to split bow staves, if you need to split longer pieces of wood. That's what wedges are, and they work extremely well, especially if you have a narrow-bitted axe. A wide-bitted wedge is going to split very, very, very good. So, without further ado, let's get started. Don't go away. Now, to do any sort of long splitting, we're going to need 2 wedges. Now, if you're just splitting firewood, and you have a hatchet and you want something bigger, you're going to need just probably one of these. Now, if you're doing lengthways splitting, where you're taking a tree and you're actually splitting the entire length, you're going to need 2 wedges. One to go over, keep the split going. So, looking at these, if you can tell, they're partly punky on the outside, but on the inside they're rock solid, and that's what we need. Chose a piece of red oak, because red oak is just fabulous for just its robustness. So just sharpened the axe, so that's good. Now to make a wedge, now this one has a check in it, but it's pretty much no big deal. First I'm going to chamfer the ends. Now you can do this with your knife, probably be a lot easier. This is what I have at the moment. Okay, so I chamfered the ends. Now it's punky, so it's just going to crumble on me right there. But that shouldn't really crumble. And so I'm just going to scrape off all this punk. That punk is useless to us, so we don't need that. And of course, if you didn't have punk on your wood that you selected, this is red oak. Blue beech works amazing. Any of the hardwoods will do you fine. But yeah, I like red oak just because it's just very robust. What I'm going to do is just make it into a wedge. Now, I can do a chisel wedge, or I could do a V-edge. So, chisel would look something like that. V would look something like that. So I think I'm going to go for a V, because that's going to split a lot better and help. It's not going to split as good when you're talking about maybe firewood. Firewood, if you don't really care how it's going to split, if you get not really half and half chunks, then yeah, you can do that. But I want to get very symmetrical. We're building a permanent shelter type thing. See, it's taking some form. Okay, as you guys can see here, finished the wedge. Made it somewhat thin down here. I can chamfer that, take that down with a knife, but I think it'll do for now. That's if you want it very permanent. You can see these are very wedge-like. This is what's supposed to be splitting. Not supposed to be an axe, it's just supposed to split. Okay, let's say you wanted to split up a piece of firewood, right? What I'm first going to do is make a split. Now I know you could probably do this with the hatchet as is, but I haven't found a bigger piece of wood. So basically we want to just get this crack started, right? It's not cracking yet. Okay, it looks like it's starting to crack, but it needs to be wide enough to fit our... Yeah, there we go. So you see? Put it in here. Now you can use the back, like that, or you can use a mallet. And it splits your firewood. Okay, so we have a piece of cedar here, right? Now let's say you want to make a floorboard. You just pretty much take one part of it and split it all the way down, and the other part split it all the way down, and you have a dimensional piece of lumber. But for sake of demonstration, instead of making two boards, instead of making one flat board on both sides, we'll just do one split down the middle to show you guys the concept of splitting with wedges. And you can see if I were to split this down with like a hatchet, I mean, you probably could do it, but could end up all twisted, grained. You may not get preciseness that you want. So we're going to start this out. We're going to take our mallet, baton, just going to smack down through there. Now I can take the start of it and go up here. Now this is a relatively small piece. I just want to show you guys. I'm not like making anything, so I didn't really need a big piece. Now I bet I can split this thing all the way down. It's so easy, but what we're gonna do, lay the axe down like that. Now it could go, this is a little dangerous, so we want to get this thing seated in there. Then we can take out the axe. Then what we can do is we're going to take this, pound away. We're going to make a second one. See, that one fell out, and we're just going to go, I'm not sure what do you call it, crisscross? I'm not sure. And that's what we got to do the entire length of the log. So as you can see, made 2 pieces of dimensional lumber. Man, does cedar smell good. And cedar is a really good wood. Nothing eats it. Nothing. So, termite stuff. I've seen a couple bugs in like sapwood, but the heartwood, where all the color is, smells amazing. I mean, I would build floorboards and shingles out of this. I mean, this is what you'd traditionally use for shingles. Build the ribs and birch bark canoes, things like that. We're all made with cedar tree. This is eastern red cedar. When it comes to splitting, firewood, dimensional lumber, very good for building permanent shelters, things like that. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.